Hey guys, welcome back to the Kika Pet Academy. And on today's video we have a very special and a professional guest. It's Ieva. Hi Ieva.
Hi.
So she is a pet doctor, a professional veterinarian, and today she will help us and our viewers to answer some questions. So Ieva, what should a person, whenever he adopts from a shelter or gets a puppy, what should he do first?
First, it's important to know from where you're getting a dog. Either it's a shelter or a kennel. If you get a dog from a kennel, you usually get a vaccination passport and you know all the information. Usually the breeder gives you all the information about the prophylactics. So for example, in the passport you see when to vaccinate and what vaccines to use. So it's like an easier way for the veterinarian to know the scheme of the vaccine.
So normally whenever you get a pup, like adopt or get a puppy, there's all the information, what kind of the vaccines, what kind of diseases the pet had. It should be everything in there, in the passport.
Yes, usually that's right, and it depends on the shelter. Some shelters just have the dogs but they don't treat anything, and then they just give you a blank and you know nothing, then you have to go to the basics. But others, it depends on the country. I don't know where your viewers from.
All over.
Because in other shelters they put a microchip, they register the dog in their own shelter, and then they make the vaccinations for the owner. So you just look at the dates. So what do you see in the passport? You see if the dog got a polyvalent vaccine, which means that it is from more than one disease. For example, it's like parvovirus or the plague, or no, it's more than one vaccine. And then
So this vaccine is a must for pets?
Yes, it's a must, especially if it's a young dog, because young dogs have mom's immunity until 3 months, and that's it. They can get all the worst diseases after.
Okay.
And then a must, I think, all around the world is rabies vaccine. So it depends on the supplier. It's usually once a year or once 2 years or once 3 years. Depends on the vaccine.
Okay, so you mentioned the puppy has the immune from the diseases for 3 months?
Yeah, it has his mom immunity but if he lives in a shelter from 1 month and he hasn't lived with his mom, he has maybe zero immunity. So in those cases, you vaccinate from 6 weeks or from 8 weeks. It depends on also.
So the immunity comes from the milk?
Yes, yes.
Very interesting. Okay, so you need to have the few vaccinations. That is a must.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if it's a dog from a shelter or from a breeding centers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So afterwards, whenever you get the 2 vaccines, is there anything else you should do?
Yes, you have to give medicine from worms. It's very important because the owners can get the worms also. So if you have a dog or a cat and you sleep with it, you eat with it,
that's probably what people do.
Most of us, yeah. Then you can get those endoparasites from the dog or the cat to you because you use the same hands. And so if you feed your dog raw meat or like raw, there's special foods for it, you have to give a tablet from parasites once a month. If it's only like kibble or some other foods, you give it every 3 months.
Every 3 months?
Yes.
For how long?
All its life.
Really?
Yeah, it's prophylactics, and before every vaccine, 10 days before, you have to give it also.
Okay. Why is it? Because I heard about this, that you need to, before getting a vaccine, you need to have the 10 days before. Yeah. Why is it 10 days?
Very good question, and it's very important. Because if your dog has worms and you give a vaccine, which is a virus in your body, it gets like double intoxication because the worms make toxins and then the vaccine is 2 or 3 viruses and it can lead to death.
Okay.
So it's very important 10 days before, because in 10 days the worms, if they are there, they're leaving the body for 10 days.
So is there anything else after the 2 vaccines and the pills from worms?
It's only like prophylactic, so vaccination in a year or even 2 years. It depends on the supplier of the vaccine, and that's it. Yeah.
So how many times per month or per year you should go to see a vet?
It's also a very good question because
I imagine whenever the puppy is very small, you need to go more often.
Yeah.
But afterwards, whenever the dog is an adult,
it's usually once a year for prophylactics, and it's said that it's a good practice for dogs when they are small to go at least once a month. Even if it's all good, you go once a month, because if you go like once a year and dog knows that he will get a shot, he will get a blood test, and he's always like shaking and scared.
Yeah.
So the good practice is to go more often and do nothing, but the dog knows that it's good and a good place to get a snack maybe there, and it has less stress.
Okay, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for the answers. I think our viewers and people who are getting puppies and having dogs will know more information. So guys, if you have any comments or any questions, please check below.